Welcome back to the David Pakman Show. I'm Farron Cousins, sitting in for David Pakman today. Well, one thing that I've always been curious about with the Q conspiracy folks, the whole idea that the federal government is secretly being run by this cabal of pedophiles and that Donald Trump himself was chosen to weed them out. The thing that always kind of bugs me about this is, why are they so silent when actual Republicans get busted for essentially the same thing they're accusing the Democrats of doing? In the past 5 days, we have now seen two high-profile Republicans, one of them just 19 years old, arrested for allegedly trafficking minors for sex. The big one was last week. 30-year-old Anton Lazaro from Minnesota was arrested on charges of, here it is, let me read this, from Law and Crime. The indictment charges Lazaro with 1 count of conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of minors, 5 counts of sex trafficking of minors, 1 count of attempted sex trafficking of a minor, and 3 counts of obstruction. Based on the evidence obtained in this investigation, authorities believe there may be additional victims of the alleged conduct. Now, Mr. Lazaro actually served as an alternate elector in 2020 for Donald Trump. He has given hundreds of thousands of dollars to Republican candidates over the years, and he has been a major player in Republican politics in the state of Minnesota. And this arrest was so damning that the Republicans he's donated money to over the years have been forced to come out and say, well, we're going to donate the money to charity now. Whatever he had given us, we're going to donate that same amount to charity. Hopefully, it's charities that take care of victims of sex trafficking. But then, actually, just a couple miles from where I'm sitting right now, you had another Republican from Minnesota arrested down here in Florida. And that person was 19-year-old Gisela Castro Medina of St. Paul, Minnesota. She's a leader with the Minnesota College Republicans, which is a governing group of young political activists. Her charges include conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of minors, sex trafficking of a minor, sex trafficking, and obstruction. Now, so she was just elected, or just chosen, I guess, as a leader of the Minnesota College Republicans. So they've had to come out and issue a statement condemning these actions and reminding people like, hey, we were all remote last year, so we don't know what's actually happening. But again, the question is, where's the Q folks? You say you want to rid the government of these sex offenders, and here's 2 fairly high-profile Republicans from Minnesota trafficking, allegedly, children for sex. And people always get annoyed, by the way, when you throw out the, why do you say allegedly? Legally, we have to. Just so everybody's aware of that, okay? They have not been they've been charged. They have not been convicted. So everything up to that point is allegedly, okay? So just so everybody's clear on that, I always get a lot of people saying, why don't you just call them that? Well, because we don't want to get sued, okay? There's your answer. But again, where's the Q people? Where are you when it's one of your own? Where are you on the Matt Gaetz story? Because we got a lot of good information on that last week. All those text messages, the thousands of pieces of evidence being turned over by Joel Greenberg, the former Seminole County tax collector down here in Florida, with pictures and videos and text messages directly implicating Matt Gaetz in a scheme to buy sex from an underage girl. Come on, folks. I mean, I thought this was what Q was all about. I thought you wanted to bust the pedophiles. Because they're getting busted. Or at least the people trafficking for sex are getting busted. But nowhere to be found, right? Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting behavior and a disgusting conspiracy theory. Because, yeah, you know what? There's some real perverts out there. If y'all put your effort into actually helping to track these people down and put a stop to some of these trafficking rings, that would be worthwhile. But instead, you'd rather just push these wild conspiracies that are driving people insane, as we saw with the California man last week who murdered his own 2 kids. You know, What a wasted opportunity. If you actually cared about sex trafficking victims, you could have done anything to help. You could have put all of this to use for good. But that's never what this was about. This was about attacking politicians, right? Well, at least these two got busted. And hopefully if what they're charged with, if they actually did it, then yeah, hopefully they go away for a long, long time.